I'm about to make a bold statement, and you may not agree with me, you might come after me, but I'm going to make it anyway. If you practice reverse misogyny in any shape or form, you have no right to call yourself a feminist. Kit, did you just? Yeah, I did. And here's why I hold this belief very close to my heart. The origins of feminism was to bring equality between men and women, not to place women over men. So if you are practicing reverse misogyny, you're not standing for the true values of feminism. It's a popular notion that reverse misogyny and reverse sexism is not an actual thing, and that it's something that pro-male rights activists have invented to even the playing field. But there are documented cases. If you're a living, breathing person, there are chances that you can be abused. Reverse sexism is an actual thing. And reverse misogyny is also an actual thing. Okay, here's a question. If a woman were to force a man to have sex, or have sex with a man without his consent, is it rape? Just think about it for a second, right? Think about what I'm asking and in the context which I'm asking. Most of you are going to say, oh yes, it is rape because it happened without the one party's consent or permission. But is it rape in the eyes of the law? The answer will shock you. Why? Because the answer to that question is no. According to the law, when a woman forces herself on a man or has sex with a man without his consent, it is not considered rape. You're going to ask me, Kit, why is that? Because in most countries today, rape is defined as when a man forces himself on a woman. Just let that sink in. 21% of American men have gone through some form of sexual abuse. If they take the courage to go to the law belittles them by telling them what they went through is not rape. And then on the other hand, we have the reverse misogynists who say men are good for nothing, men are useless, men are all this, yada, 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 yada. I have a question that it disturbed me a lot when I read this statistic, and I wondered, there are a lot of resources for women who've been sexually abused. The cops take it very seriously. Even the slightest hint of accusation is enough to destroy a man's career, right? It's enough to, destroy families. But when a man is raped, he's belittled by the law, he's belittled by those around him. He's called weak and not masculine enough to have prevented the rape. I wonder if there are resources for men as there are for women, places they can go to, people they can talk to without any shame or stigma. Here's where I think a modern day feminism got their ideals wrong. While fighting for the equality for women is a noble cause, if that equality comes on the backs of putting down men, hating on men, and belittling men, I don't think that is fairly won. Women can still fight for equality without having to put down men. Because putting them down is like trying to publicly shame someone into correcting their behavior. It actually doesn't work. In fact, it makes them more defensive and more likely to repeat those behaviors. So how can we change people's mind about misogyny and all these things without having to put them down all the time? Well, educate the men in your life. So I think it is important that we have a conversation about this instead of the misogynist looking at the women and saying, oh, you are like this, showing extreme hate. And then from the other side, the reverse misogynists saying, no, we hate the men and the men are like this and the men are like that. It's not going to take us anywhere. It's not going to take us anywhere. As a feminist, I think we should all go back to the root of feminism and study the history of feminism and adjust our ideals according to the true meaning of feminism and fight for our rights without having to put down somebody else's rights.